Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, Get Personal with Your Customers. I'm your moderator, Varun. I look at marketing within eDynamic, and I'm really thrilled to be joined today by Shilpa Gupta, Analytics Director at eDynamic. Shilpa has vast experience in digital marketing and digital analysis. She has in-depth knowledge of digital analysis tools like Google Analytics, Web Trends, Site Catalyst, Dart or Atlas Report Central, Radian 6, Google AdWords, and many more. In today's presentation, you will review how Sitecore Digital Marketing System can change your marketing. And we'll also have a question and answer session at the end, so please send us your questions and we'll make sure we answer them immediately in real time. And now, over to Shilpa.
Hey, thanks Varun. Thank you so much for the introduction. Let me just quickly go through the agenda for this webinar. As part of this webinar, we will be covering the following: Sitecore Customer Engagement Platform and Customer Experience Overview, just a very brief slides. Sitecore DMS and Google Analytics comparison, and then we will talk in detail about various Sitecore reporting interfaces, Marketing Center within Sitecore DMS, bit about website personalization and A/B testing, and what are the configuration steps to access basic Sitecore DMS reports. So yeah, excited to talk with you all today. Let's move on. So, a web. What is a CEP within the Sitecore terminology is Web Content Management Systems plus the digital marketing suite is the customer engagement platform. So a web content management system is a software system. This most of you might know, but just to reiterate that fact, a web content management system is a software system that provides website authoring, collaboration, and administration tools that are designed to allow users with very little knowledge of web programming language. And when multi-channel marketing automation software, it offers integrated modules for managing customer experience across several channels. So when we combine the digital marketing system, which has the multi-channel marketing automation part and web content management, that's what Sitecore, or we call it as a customer engagement platform, because that really helps you do omni-channel marketing, if you will. And that platform really helps to engage in one-to-one conversations with individual customers across any channel, and that is how we move the conversation forward for really for measurable business results. So that's all about the customer engagement platform. It consists of two parts: web content management plus the DMS. Let's talk about the Sitecore Experience Platform a bit. So Sitecore Experience Platform has several components to it, and we will see how DMS is an integral part of this, and obviously reporting and analytics is core to Sitecore DMS. So Sitecore Customer Experience Platform really helps you own every customer experience, and that's what it takes to create customers for life. When you give them a great customer experience, you can create customers for life. Their lifetime value increases so much. So Sitecore Experience Platform enables you to own that experience for each unique customer, from acquisition to retention, from one purchase to the next, and so on. And growing your business by transforming prospects into fans, that's today's definition of marketing success, I believe. But to do that, you need more than a marketing system. You need a customer experience platform. And as you can see on this slide, it has several components. So within the integration part, it has CRM, ERP, other systems. It has several databases which are connected by a universal customer connector. And the focus of webinar today is the Sitecore ADA technology, which is Analytics, Insights, Decision, and Automation, where we'll talk about a lot of reporting and how, it is a critical part of DMS. And then it also includes management, where you manage your content, product information, and digital assets. And obviously, it's spread across channel. And you are managing the customer experience not in just one channel on your website, but across channels. So that is why it's a complete experience platform. I'll move on to the next slide. So within the Sitecore ADA, Sitecore or Sitecore DMS, analytics is a core component. So engagement, analytics is an important component of DMS. And what engagement analytics and experience analytics helps you improve is the marketing ROI. And it has, you can do real-time personalization as well. With experience analytics, you can target different types of visitors, responding to trends and things like that. We'll talk about personalization a bit in the coming slides. And we have engagement intelligence also. So basically, it's all analytics that leads to an exceptional customer experience. And in today's webinar, we are going to discuss several reports that lead to that path. So moving on to the next slide, what is the fundamental difference between Sitecore DMS and Google Analytics? Most of you might be knowing this, but just to bring everyone on the same page, GA is for aggregated reports, and its data is very reliable to make business insights. But Sitecore DMS, it's operate off the server side data. It's more accurate data. And Sitecore uses its own data collection for real-time personalization, A/B testing, as well as, determining the value of visits and campaigns. The advantage in Google Analytics is the reporting interface is very easy to use. Sitecore reporting DMS is still in the development phase. The reporting dashboard might not be too intuitive as Google Analytics, but there are several other features that make Sitecore DMS a unique platform, in the sense that you can track content in forms with, the A/B testing and website personalization are core to Sitecore DMS. So these are the things that really, these are the two features that consumers use Sitecore DMS for. You can do multivariate testing in real time, and you can provide individual visitor level data. Moving on to the next slide. In detail, in today's webinar, we'll talk about three core components of Sitecore DMS, which is the Marketing Center, Engagement Analytics, and Executive Dashboard. So if you log in into your Sitecore DMS, you will see the screen. You probably have seen it several times, several of you. So Marketing Center, Engagement Analytics, and Executive Dashboards, that's core to Sitecore DMS. And in the upcoming slides, we'll talk about these in detail. So I will start with the Executive Dashboard. Now, Executive Dashboard within the Sitecore DMS has several reports. So we have channel performance, campaign performance, brand awareness, as you can see on the screen. And so what does all these reports help you to do? So for example, let's take an example of channel performance, and you can get this report by various KPIs, by visits, values, value per visit, and things like that. So this report will tell we are just talking about the basic reports right now, and we'll move into more advanced stuff. This report will tell the number of visits, value per visit generated by each channel, and using this report we can easily determine which channel or traffic brings the most qualified visitors, and we can also identify opportunities to optimize source traffic to website. Campaign performance reports. Using this, maybe you can, insights from these reports can help you optimize performance of various marketing campaigns. Brand awareness, maybe I can give an example. For example, if you have a low brand awareness, it may indicate that you need to do more to promote the company brand, and it displays the visits with values and efficiencies, value per visit, generated from the search engine branded traffic type. Entry pages report. So an entry page could be a landing page created for a specific campaign or a page referred by another website, and it can help you really identify those pages that led to highest value visit, or also identify the underperforming pages. So these reports are also available in Google Analytics, but they are also available in Sitecore, and within Sitecore you can integrate the data from other channel sources as well. And you have internal site search as well here. Asset consumed, this is something interesting in the sense that it refers to visitors downloading the brochures, white papers, and other assets from the website during a visit. Goal conversion, it will tell you you can set up goals. Goal conversion report will tell you which goals had the most conversions and generated the most efficient visits on the website. So that's what executive dashboard has. All these reports broken down by various KPIs like visits, value per visit, potential of a page, and so on. So this was all about executive dashboard. Let's move on to the engagement analytics part. Within the engagement analytics really help you present how effectively your audience are interacting with your website. And these are the out-of-the-box reports that are present in engagement analytics. For example, the site health report. What are the common mistakes, latest failures, not found URLs, pages that report errors, slow pages. So things like that. This report will help you check the overall health of the website, identify the broken and slow pages, and a site health report can really identify the errors visitors are finding on the website. And once you fix those errors, this is one way you can improve the customer experience. Top leads report, classified and unclassified organizations for sales. This report helps you determine the two different kind of organizations who have shown an increased interest and a greater amount of activity on the website during a specified time. So you can identify which organizations visited your website. We'll talk about how you do it in the next couple of slides. Latest visit report. This report shows the visitor organization name, if unknown, if known, the value of their visits, how many times the visitors has been to the site, and the date and time of the visit. So that's very basic, but then even when you look at this data, this report helps you identify recent visitors, particularly visitors who are showing increased interest, who may be ready to register or engage with more commitment. So we may want to try and identify these visitors as future prospects as well. So it can track your lead generation activity as well. So we talked a bit about executive dashboard, engagement analytics here. Let's move on to the engagement analytics a bit more. So engagement analytics, it can track the exact organizations that visited your website. How does it do that? So you can use companies like coupled with MaxMind. You can find out the engagement value and execution of goals can be viewed based on the organization associated with the user. Now this becomes extremely valuable when the appropriate time is taken to set up the engagement value scale that is meaningful for the website. So then you can identify your top leads, but you have to integrate this data with MaxMind. Identify your top leads by value and things like that. Now, moving on to the next slide. Now, creating goals to measure how well you meet your website objectives. Now, goals are similar to Google Analytics in Sitecore. Goals can be video views, any newsletter sign up, social share, purchase something on the website, PDF download, etc., etc. Now, within the Marketing Center, you can personalize your website that allows you to create personalized pages. And different campaign have different content. You can set up a variety of goals for page visits and download. And within the Marketing Center, you can create profiles. You can test Slab to create multivariate tests. And within the Marketing Center, you can also track inbound campaigns, paid search, organic campaigns, social media campaigns, and so on. So on this slide, you can see how the Marketing Center has various things that you can do. You can set up your goals. You can set up campaigns. You can set up engagement plans with the consumer. You can set up rules for personalization. You can set up personas and profiles. So the Marketing Center is core to Sitecore DMS or Sitecore engagement platform. It helps you automate your campaigns, and it also enables the analytics piece of DMS, which is the executive dashboard and engagement analytics interface. Moving on to the next slide. So this is a little bit more detail about the Marketing Center. Now, when we build persona, we can build personas of site visitors, even anonymous visitors based on their site behavior, and deliver personalized content against wide range of site variables. So, so for example, you can set up profiles. How do I classify my customer? Maybe interest in our practice area based on the industry, based on its functional area, and so on. And you have profile cards, personas, and pattern cards. Pattern cards systems assign the pattern card to the user in the session, and things like that. Moving on to the next slide, which is again about the Marketing Center, and we just talked about this before. Profile, pattern cards, goals, and events, they help you to personalize the content. So how can you personalize the content? You can create goals, create events, assign value to goals, and once you set up those goals and events, and even for anonymous users, you can see their performance by goals and events and then give them a personalized experience. So that is how personalization and goals and event tracking is created. Personalization can be done on a number of other parameters as well, like a geo IP lookup, or there might be segments of your consumers, for example, beginner consumer who has just begun to browse your website, or someone who is an advanced buyer. So you can personalize content based on those by creating different personas and things like that. Now, engagement plan, they are similar available, and they are similar to marketing automation. So let's say somebody who has downloaded any PDF. So we have his contact info. He did not sign up for the newsletter. We can create an algorithm with conditions and send them automated emails to subscribe to our newsletters. And this is exactly what we do in marketing automation as well. So in these slides, we're talking about what all you can do in Marketing Center. So these are some screenshots which really help you give a clear understanding of where to look for what for example, where you can set up goals, where you can do your campaigns. You can create unlimited campaigns. But don't forget to track your data. You need to append the campaign ID with the marketing content to track it. And then you can see the tracking in Executive Dashboard. Moving on to the next slide. How do you do multivariate testing in Sitecore? Is A/B split or multivariate testing is a very big advantage over Google Analytics in Sitecore, and that can be configured in real time. So you can test every single text and image on your website by doing a multivariate testing or A/B testing. Now, for example, if you have to sign up for a newsletter, you can test the sign up button. Should it be red or blue? Or should it say sign up to the newsletter or sign up for our latest news? With A/B split test, you can test different variations of landing page, front page, banners, call to actions, etc., and optimize on the results, and then you can optimize on the results from your site visitors in real time. So that's core to Sitecore DMS. A/B testing and multivariate testing are great features for Sitecore DMS. You can create multivariate test, which enables you to test different elements and optimize the right combination, like this header with this picture or this button with this will give the highest conversion. So it really enables you to do real-time testing. And we encourage you to really use Sitecore A/B testing to optimize the customer experience on the website. So what is, for any given visitor, Sitecore DMS, what does it record? So for any person, it records the personas into which they fall, their behavior based on profile values associated to page visited, their engagement value, whether they were presented with personalized content, if they were part of A/B multivariate testing or not, how did they react to that multivariate testing. So these are just a couple of points, and but Sitecore DMS records almost everything about the visitor, what the visitor is doing on the website. So we've talked about Executive Dashboard, Engagement Analytics, and Marketing Center a bit now. Now, how do we set up so we wanted to talk about the 7 configuration steps to access the basic Sitecore DMS reports. Now, most of the people, as you know, the first step, now, let me take a step back. Effective marketing today requires technology. While years ago, company could put an ad in the phone, book and wait. In today's digital world, requires website, cross-channel distribution, analytics to really successfully promote and measure your efforts. All of which are facilitated by technology tools such as the content management systems. And in the next few slides, we'll talk about the configuration steps to access the basic Sitecore DMS reports. The first step is really to gather your analytics. The first step in effectively configuring your Sitecore DMS is to do a little background research in Sitecore and find your dashboards and configure an executive dashboard. As silly as it sounds, finding your Sitecore data is really the first step in effectively configuring your dashboards. And I have heard several smart marketers get hung up on this stage. You would be surprised how often we have heard, I do not see data in my Sitecore dashboard. So step one is to find the data, start that data collection, and after that data collection starts, we have configured the analytics database and a DMS for Sitecore. Now, Sitecore configuration includes 3 default databases. One is the master, the other is web, and the other is the core database. So we're just talking about the first step here, which is gather analytics, and I wanted to talk about it in detail. It has 3 default, so Sitecore DMS includes 3 default databases. And the master database, it contains all versions of content, which is supporting all of the Sitecore content management users. So this is everything. The master database is everything that the software can track for all of the company users. It is a standard database that contains every version of every item, including the unpublished versions of content you're publishing on the website. The master database, it contains both the history of the website and the work in progress. The web database, it contains all the published versions from the master database supporting the website. So the web database, it contains the latest publishable versions of every item that has been published on the website. And then there is a third database, which is the core database. It contains data controlling the Sitecore CMS user interfaces. The core database, it contains the data controlling the Sitecore CMS user interfaces. Now it contains the ASP.NET membership tables that derive authentication and security. Now, but you have not, by default, it has 3 databases, as we just talked about: master database, web database, and core database. When you configure Sitecore DMS, within, and we are not just talking about we are not talking about DMS right now. When you configure Sitecore, these 3 databases are default. By default, get configured as master, web, and core. Again, just to be on the same page, master database contains all versions of all content supporting the Sitecore content management system. Web database contains all the published versions from the master database, and core database contains data controlling from the Sitecore CMS user interfaces. Now, Sitecore DMS is not configured by default when we configure Sitecore for building the website. This is very important to know because several of our clients or consumers or sometimes I've heard people saying, or we don't see reports in Sitecore DMS because when you configure Sitecore for your website, Sitecore DMS is not automatically configured. And it is not configured by default. Sitecore DMS is not configured by default when we configure the Sitecore for building the website. And we need to configure Sitecore DMS, and which will populate your analytics database. So that's the trick. And we need, once we configure the Sitecore DMS, your analytics database starts populating. And the next step is to map the analytics database to the web database or database where all visitor information and data is collected. That mapping process is also very important. You have to map the analytics database to the database where all visitor information and data is collected. In a little bit technical terms, if I talk about, it means that we need to configure Sitecore analytics on the production environment. Now, a very important note there that that again, this is one of the hiccups that or one of the steps that we have done, we have helped various consumers is, now very important note is we need to change the connection string. So on the authoring environment, pardon me for being a little bit more technical, pointing out to the production analytics database, and thus it will start showing the analytics data from the production in the content authoring environment. Let me repeat this one more time. A very important note is we need to change the connection string on the authoring pointing to the production analytics database, and thus it will start showing the analytics data from production and content authoring environment. Now, while we are doing that is we will see the website analytics by logging into the content authoring environment. We do not want to log into the production environment for accessing the production analytics for safety reasons. Right? So, as this is important, I just want to emphasize this one more time. We do not want to log into production environment for accessing the production website analytics for safety reasons, and that is why we need to change the connection string on authoring, pointing it to the production analytics database, and then it will start showing the analytics data from production to the content authoring environment. And then this is the first step. So this is how we will be able to see basic data within the executive dashboard and engagement analytics in Sitecore DMS. So the first step is gather analytics. It's a small step, but then we have to be a bit careful in the default databases. When we configure Sitecore DMS, it is not configured by default, and Sitecore DMS is not configured by default when we configure Sitecore for building the website. You need to make sure that how are you configuring it and things like that. So gather analytics, this step will give you basic data within Sitecore DMS. Now you have started to collect the data. Let's move on to the next step. Now you have to classify your data sources as well. It's not like Google Analytics, you know, your data is classified automatically. So the way you classify your data sources, as you can see in this picture on the slide, you have URLs. You have to move your URLs into specific channels to see segmented data by various channels. I've heard people saying, I see data for some channels while other data is blank in the dashboard. Now, Google Analytics can classify the channel data by default, but in Sitecore, the triggers you need to set it up. So that's a little interesting. So, for example, we need to classify all visits that appeared in the referred other category to make the dashboard data more meaningful. We need to classify LinkedIn into social sites. Otherwise, all visits from LinkedIn will show in referred other category in case of Sitecore executive dashboard. So when you classify a traffic type, the changes are applied immediately. They might not be visible in the dashboard until the data in the current cache has been updated. So that's about the steps. You need to, these are the first two steps. You need to map your databases to the right database. You need to map the analytics database to the right database and classify the data sources. Now let's move on to the next few steps. So then you have to define your branded keywords. This helps you measure the brand awareness and indicate how much you need to promote the brand company. The step 4 is this is something we also do in Google Analytics. You need to create your goals and assign values to those goals. We need to create goals and assign values to different goals so that value metric for visits is calculated in Sitecore. So in Sitecore you have goal value. This is particularly valuable when the appropriate time is taken to set up an engagement value scale that is meaningful on the website. As the visitor navigates around the website, achieving various goals and triggering different page events, the value of their visit is calculated and used in various reports. For example, I'll give an example. Setting up the value will help you in knowing which campaigns or traffic types have generated the most relevant or efficient visits. Entry page report will help you identify effective pages with highest value visits and underperforming pages. That is why setting up value is really important. It helps you not just look at the numbers of visits, but how efficient those visits are. That's how you should definitely create your goals and assign the values to create goals. And goals and page events, page event content items contains a point field, as you can see on the screen, into which you can enter a value, and Sitecore uses this number to calculate an overall value for a visit. Now, as a visitor navigates around the website, achieving various goals and triggering different page events, the value of the visit is calculated. Now, when a visitor leaves the website, the total accumulated points for the visit are displayed in the executive inside dashboard as the engagement value. So that's why setting up goals and assigning values to those goals is really important. You can see the value for your visit, not just the number of visits. Moving on to the next few steps in accessing the basic Sitecore DMS reports, you need to integrate a GeoIP service. Now, when we say integrate a GeoIP service, you can buy credits from third-party web services, as we just talked about in previous slides, such as MaxMind, to analyze the latest visits report. So MaxMind is a GeoIP service that provides a seamless integration with Sitecore. It provides information down to the known organization level. And without that integration with GeoIP service, the report will show IP not found. So this is just an example. So this is why it is important to integrate with MaxMind so that you can see the data down at the organizational level. The next step is configure the Google site search. Now, configure Google Site Search so that it captures the search term for internal site search. And we all know that why it is very important to track internal site search. So when we track internal site search, we can know how do different groups of users search my website, what business outcomes results from users searching my site, how frequently do users use my search box and what are they looking for and are users satisfied. And unless you configure the site search, no reports will be available in Sitecore dashboard for internal site search. Now, going back to the customer experience, once you answer all these questions for you and your consumers, you definitely may give them a better experience because you get to know what they're looking for what they're looking on the website, what business outcomes are resulting from users searching the website, how frequently they use the search box, and whether they are satisfied or not. So looking at the data points, you make data-driven decisions, and that really improve your marketing ROI. The last but not the least, you have to be careful. You have to set up the site and language drop-down. Make sure the site and language drop-down is set up properly to filter the dashboard by right language and right website. So these are the 7 steps. Let me go back one more time to reiterate what we have just talked about. These are the 7 configuration steps to access the basic Sitecore DMS reports. First step is to gather analytics. You have to classify your data sources. You have to define your branded keywords. Don't forget to assign the goals and assign values to your goals. Integrate with the GeoIP services such as MaxMind. Configure internal site search and use this right setup for the site and language dropdown. So that will give you the basic out-of-box Sitecore reporting and executive dashboard and engagement analytics. And looking at these reports, you can make better data-driven decisions and optimize the customer experience. Now, in summary, you can analyze the performance of content, campaign, and experiences. You can get actionable customer insights with every interaction. That's what you can do in Sitecore DMS. Enable better decisions for better customer experiences. And you automate your marketing to give customers the ultimate control. So Sitecore DMS enables you by the multi-channel marketing automation and analytics software. It enables you to manage the customer experience across channels. You can engage in one-to-one conversations with individual customers across any channel and move the conversation forward for measurable business results. Having said that, I'll stop right now and open the floor for any questions that we have with the team. Back to you, Varun.
Thank you so much, Shilpa, for that useful insight. We do have a few questions. So the first one is, how can we personalize web experiences based on geography and past browsing behavior on a real-time basis?
Okay, that is an interesting one, Varun. Let me say the question again so that I am sure that I hear it correctly. So your question is, how can we personalize the web experiences based on geography and past browsing behavior on real-time basis? Let me start. Yeah. Let me start with a simple example. For example, we have beginners, kite flyers, and in the Nevada region or the California region. What it does is Sitecore DMS does a geo IP lookup, and because we are in this particular example, we are looking for beginners kite flyers in California. So it will first do a geo IP lookup. It will look at the browsing behavior, which is focused on content targeted to beginners. So for example, how to fly a kite or different type of kites. So that is how it can go back to your past browsing behavior and give you personalized experience on a real-time basis. I can add a couple of good ideas as well. For example, adding up to this example, interested in learning more about kite flying, you can pop that message in the right-hand rail promoting the membership benefits, or you can also give them a personalized join now call to action displayed in maybe the header and promoting the local California chapters and so on. So that is how I'm just giving this an example. That is how you can personalize the web experiences based on geography, which is geo IP lookup. And you can look at all the past browsing behavior of a consumer on a real-time basis.
Okay, so the next question is, can we integrate DMS with CRM and MAP platforms as well?
Yeah, of course. Yes, why not? So just to reiterate, we can iterate the DMS with customer relationship management and the marketing automation platforms as well. With Sitecore built-in CRM integration tools, you can supplement the customer and prospect records in your CRM system with the profile and experience data collected by Sitecore. And Sitecore really makes it easy to connect the customer experience data with sales insight to inform a more personal and relevant sales conversation. And you can build intimate relationships with you can build good relationships with every single customer, whether you have hundreds of millions of them. Sitecore lets you listen and respond to customer actions, automating the frequency, sequence, and personalization of interactions over with any channel at any time. And coming back to the MAP platform, you can do automated lead nurturing, profile scoring. You can design and manage the cross-channel experience plans that deliver the right content at the right time based on how customers are interacting with the brand. Yeah. We can move on to the next one, Varun.
Yeah. So the next question is, does Sitecore DMS improve engagement management outside personalization?
So you're asking me, Sitecore DMS improve engagement management outside personalization? The answer is yes. Yes. Other than personalization, as we just talked about, you can manage the other engagement with the customer as well. For example, marketing automation. Marketing automation and maybe the Sitecore Analytics, it enables the engagement management other than personalization across other channels. You can serve up tailored, relevant experiences even on your non-Sitecore website and track the customer interactions to deliver one seamless connected customer experience across channels. With Sitecore, you can manage your brand and serve up a consistent experience on virtually any device. And for example, when we talk about marketing automation, email marketing is an integral part of that. So you can, when your email marketing works in tune with other marketing channels, and you can leverage that customer intelligence analytics directly in real time, it is easy to deliver the right email offers exactly when your most qualified leads want them. So that is how you are managing the engagement with your consumers other than personalization within the Sitecore DMS. You are generating a lot of names for sales. So let me take a step back. So you are generating a lot of names for sales but few qualified leads. You have to go into engagement planning and lead scoring. Your conversion rates are very low and you don't know why. In order to manage that customer experience or customer engagement, you have to do multivariate or A/B testing to see why your conversion rates on particular pages are high or low. You don't understand your visitors, or you cannot measure the success of personalization rules you make. You go into engagement analytics and see how you can improve the engagement with your consumers. So those are few examples where you can use your Sitecore DMS, improve the engagement management other than personalization, please.
Okay, so there are a few more questions, but we'll have to get back to them after the webinar. Thank you all for joining us for the webinar. I hope it will help you all get personal with your customers. The recording for today's webinar will be available on our website within the next 3 business days. We'll also be sharing the webcast URL with all the attendees via email. Meantime, please feel free to reach out to us at contact@edynamic.net for any questions you may have. Thank you once again.